All right, hello, math fans. All right, so today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about order of operation. Order of operations. Okay, and that's basically talking about, well, what do you do first when you have an expression? Do you add, subtract, multiply, divide, do exponents, parentheses? Okay, so the way many of you guys learned a different way to remember these order of operation. Okay, but basically it's let's just talk about it first. First of all, you do everything in parentheses first. Okay, so it's parentheses and then exponents and then multiplication and division are together. So that's together. And addition, subtraction, that is also together. All right, so this is the order of operations. So that's the first thing, that's the second thing, that's the third thing, and that's the fourth thing. So the way to remember this, kind of a classy little way to remember this, is please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Okay? It's very exciting. Now, let's say you have an Aunt Stephanie or an Aunt Sarah. You could always replace Sally with Sarah or Stephanie or whatever. Okay? But it works really well. And again, here this is P for parentheses, exponent. Like a squared, whatever. That's an exponent. Multiplication and division. So multiplication, division, and adding and subtracting. And again, these are like the multiplication and division are put together, and the addition and subtraction are put together. So if you have a bunch of multiplication and you have a bunch of division all put together, you always go left to right when you're combining things together. That's just the best way to go about it. So for example, if I had 5 and this dot, remember, is multiplication. Okay? Or let's see, so if I said 5 times 2, that's also, this is another way to look at it, 5 times 2. And you don't really see this anymore, 5 times 2. The reason we don't see 5x2 is because we use x a lot of times as a variable. Okay? And that would look like 5x2 and people would get confused. So you really are not going to see this the x as multiplication too much. Mainly the 5.2 and then the 5 just in parentheses and the 2 in parentheses next to each other. Okay? So anyway, let's get back to this left to right. If I have 5 times 3 times 2, it's just good practice to go left to right. So we're going to say 5 times 3 is 15. 15 times 2 is 30. All right? So just go left to right. Very easy. Okay, so let's talk about order of operation. Let's do a couple examples here and then do a little practice. Okay, so if I had 2 times 3 minus 4. Okay, so I know, again, sometimes it's tempting to do the 3 minus 4, but you've got to remember order of operation. Okay, no parentheses. There is no exponent. Okay, we have multiplication and division, so that's what we do first. So that gives us 6. 2 times 3 is 6, and then we put the minus 4 here. Okay, we're done with all the multiplication and division. We have addition and subtraction. We just have subtraction, so 6 minus 4 is 2, and that's our answer. Okay, as opposed to somebody, which would be wrong, to say 3 minus 4 is negative 1. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. That's wrong. Okay, you've got to do order of operation. Most of your calculators will actually do operation for you correctly, okay? But this first chapter is no calculator, and you guys should know how to do basic arithmetic without having to use a calculator. All right, so let's try a couple more here. 8 times 4 minus 2 times 3. Okay, again, it looks tempting to do that 4 minus 2, but you've got to remember, you're going to do your multiplication first. Okay, so 8 times 4, 32. 2 times 3, 6. So you notice I kept the sign here, math fans. Okay, because that sign just kind of hangs out there because I really haven't used it yet. And then you do 32 minus 6 is going to be 26. Okay? It's really not that bad. Just remember that order of operation. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Okay, so let's try a couple more here. 3 squared minus 4 plus 2 times 3 plus 2 divided by 2. Okay, let's try that. So what I would do first, you want to do your order of operations. So 3 squared, it's 9. Well, that's the only thing we have to do. So really, our new problem is this. 9 minus 4 plus 2 times 3 plus 2 divided by 2. Again, don't do anything with the addition and subtraction. Okay, so we're going to leave it as 9 minus 4. Here's our first multiplication. So it's plus 6, and then it's plus 1. Okay, so now we have no multiplication or division left, and now we do everything with, we use multiplicate, or we do the addition and subtraction. So 9 minus 4 is 5. 5 plus 6 is 11. 11 plus 1 is 12. Okay, that's it. Not too bad. Okay, so let's try a couple more here. 2 parentheses 3 times 5 minus 8 divided by 4. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to, well, I said you always do parentheses first. So that just means you go inside the parentheses, and it's almost like a separate problem. So I'm just going to write it out as a separate problem. So 3 times 5 minus 8 divided by 4. The reason I want to write it as a separate problem outside here is because I want you to understand we're doing the parentheses first, but we have all the other operations inside the parentheses. So it's basically you're going to do your multiplication and division. So it's 3 times 5 is 15 minus 8 divided by 4, so minus 2. So we get 13. All right? So that's what was inside the parentheses. And remember, that's 2 times that number in parentheses. So it's really 2 times 13. And 2 times 13 is 26. Okay? So do everything inside the parentheses first, and then deal with the parentheses. So let's try another one that kind of has a lot of stuff in here. 2 plus 2 times 3 squared minus 8 divided by 2 squared. Okay, so this kind of has a lot of stuff. And I'll tell you, a lot of people, it's so tempting to do this right away, because you're like, oh man, that's easy, 2 plus 2 is 4, and you put a 4 there. You can't do that. You have to do order of operations. So the first thing you got to do is you got to do everything inside the parentheses. Do not touch that 2 plus 2. Okay, so we're going to do everything inside of here. Well, again, that's order of operation too. So there's a lot of things to think about. And what do you do first with order of operations? So here, this is the new problem. 3 squared minus 8 divided by 2. So the first thing you do is you do your exponent. So 3 squared is 9. Be careful, 3 squared is not 6. 3 squared is 3 times 3, which is 9, not 3 times 2. All right, very important. So it's 9 minus, actually we'll just do this, 9 minus 8 divided by 2. Well, we'll write it out because we want to show my work here. So it's 9 minus 4, which is 5. Okay, that 5 is in that parentheses. So the problem is really 2 plus 2 times 5 squared. So we've done our parentheses. Now we have to do the exponent. Okay, well we're going to, again, that 2 is still multiplication, right? This is multiplication here. That's important. So it's 2 plus, and 5 squared is 25. So it's 2 times 25. And then we get 2 times 25 is 50. 2 plus 50 is 52. And that's the answer to that problem. Okay, so it takes a little bit of practice, but you really just have to be more careful than anything with these problems. Okay, because otherwise things get a little complicated. All right, so let's do one with a fraction. I know you guys like fractions. 2/3 times 6 plus 3 times 4 squared. Let's get rid of that square. I'm making the numbers too big. Okay, so let's just try that one here. Okay, so remember, it's you're going to do everything inside the parentheses first. So it's 3 times 4 is 12. So it's 2/3 times 6 plus 12. So it's 2/3 times 18. Okay, remember how to multiply fractions together. Put a 1 underneath there. Turn that whole number into a fraction. And then hopefully you remember how to cross cancel. I mean, you guys, this is something you learn in junior high or middle school even, multiplying fractions. It's 3 goes into 3 once, 3 goes into 18 6 times. 2 times 6 is 12. Okay, and that's the answer to that problem. Not too bad. All right, so let's do a couple more examples. 1/2, let's say 3 plus 1/2 times 11 minus 3, close parentheses, squared minus 4 times 3 minus 1. Okay, it looks kind of complicated, but not really that bad. So what are you going to do first? Do everything in the parentheses first. So it's going to be 3 plus 1/2. 11 minus 3 is 8 squared. Minus 4 times 3 minus 1 is 2. Okay, so again, show all your work. Don't just do it all in one line and have an answer. Show a little bit of work. All right, so we have 3 plus 8 squared is 64. So 1/2 times 64 minus 4 times 2. Okay, so I just did the exponent. 3 plus, as opposed to thinking about the multiplication, just what's half of 64? Isn't it 32? So it's 32 minus 8. Okay, so now we have all addition and subtraction. Let's combine it together. So 32 plus 3 is 35. 35 minus 8 is 27. And that's the answer to that problem. Okay? That isn't too bad. Let's do one more order operation with a couple sets of parentheses here. So if I see 2, and this is a bracket, it's just another parenthesis, except it just looks a little bit different. It's no big deal. So 2, and then we're going to do 40 minus 2 times 3 minus 1 squared minus 2. Okay, that looks kind of complicated. You got two sets of parentheses here, guys. You always, when you have parentheses, you always work from the inside to the outside. Okay, so in other words, I'm going to do this set of parentheses first. And then once I simplify that, then I'm going to do my order of operation for all these parentheses. Everything under the bracket, we call those the square brackets, and then I'm going to multiply it by 2 with my last step. Okay, so this is what I have. I have 2 parentheses, 40 minus 2 times, well, 3 minus 1 is 2. That's what I have. All right, and then I have 2. Okay, so let's do the exponent. Let's just show my work. 2 times 2 squared is 4 minus 2. And then let's do our multiplication inside here. So 2 times 40 minus 8 minus 2. And then again, I know some of you say, well, gee, I should do multiplication first. Well, again, you want to do everything inside the parentheses. Parentheses is like the number one thing. So I'm going to simplify everything inside the parentheses first. So 2 times 40 minus 8 is 32. 32 minus 2 is 30. And 2 times 30 is 60. And that's your final answer. Okay, so you work from the inside out. That's how you do these problems. All right? Okay, so last thing here that I want to show you, which you're going to have in your homework tonight, it's called evaluating expressions. Okay, evaluating expressions is if I give you 2x plus 3. All right, so we're just kind of looking at our variables now. Anyway, x is your variable. They call it a variable because it can vary, right? I can make x5, I can make x10. I can make x anything I want. That's why it varies, so it's called a variable. Okay? And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you an expression. So this is given. And I'm going to say evaluate when x equals 4. It's really easy. I want you to do something. I'm going to look for this. I want you, wherever you see a variable, you're going to replace it with a parenthesis. Okay, and for now you're going to be like, well, I don't understand why we have to do so much work. It's really easy. I just put a 4 into that. Well, the problem is when you start getting negative numbers, things get complicated. And if you don't have a parenthesis around there, there's potential to get it wrong. Okay, so I want you guys to get it right. Show your work. Put a parenthesis in there. All right, so I have 2 times parenthesis plus 3, and then just going to put a 4 in here. Now it's easy. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 3 is 11. That's all you do. That's all evaluating an expression is. Okay, it's pretty easy schmeezy. All right, 4 plus 2x squared, x equals 3. Okay, so we're going to replace it. 4 plus 2 parentheses 3 squared. All right, so let's do our work here. 4 plus 2, 3 squared is 9, so it's 2 times 9. And 4 plus 18 is 2 times 9 is 18. 4 plus 18 is 22. That's it. It's pretty easy, right? Okay, let's do a couple more. 3 plus x cubed minus 7. X equals 2. Now you need to understand, math fans, that cubed means you multiply the number by itself 3 times. It's not 2 times 3 is 6. It's 2 times 2 times 2. Got to remember that. So it's 3 plus 2. I'm going to put that in parentheses. I said put parentheses. Cubed minus 7. So it's 3 plus 2 cubed. 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is 8. So 3 plus 8 minus 7. Okay? So 3 plus 8 is 11. 11 minus 7 is 4. That's my answer. Not bad. Let's try a couple more. 2x cubed minus 8 times 2 plus 10 times 6 divided by 3. Yeah. Okay, so we did a little extra stuff here. We put some big numbers in there, but I wanted to put, I wanted to at least have that that variable in there. Okay, so I think I'm going to say x is equal to 2. All right, so what we're going to do is 2, and then we're going to put 2 cubed minus 8 times 2 plus 10 times 6 divided by 3. Okay, well, order of operation, right? Exponent first, so 2 cubed is 8. Minus 8 times 2 plus 10 times 6 divided by 3. All right, so let's do order of operation. Let's do our multiplication. So here's 8 times 2 is 16. Oh, minus 16. It's very interesting. And then this guy right here, again, order of operation. 10 times 6 is 60. 60 divided by 3, you may not know that. It's a bigger number, but 60 divided by 3 is 20. So plus 20. So 16 minus 16 is 0. Plus 20 is 20. And that's your answer. Okay, not too bad. Last problem. So if I said k squared minus k over 2k minus k, let's say 12k minus k cubed. That's it. Okay, so that looks kind of complicated. I'm going to tell you k is equal to 2. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to just plug in each place there's a k, you're going to put a 2. So 2 squared minus 2 over 12 times 2 minus 2 cubed. Looks complicated, but this is the deal, math fans. It's just a fraction. It's no big deal, but you're going to do your order of operations. So I'm going to do everything on top here first. So I'm going to say 2 squared is 4 minus 2. And on the bottom, I'm going to do exponent first. So I'm just going to show my work as opposed to doing everything in one shot. So 2 cubed is 8. So I have 4 minus 2 on top, and then I'm going to multiply on the bottom. 12 times 2 is 24 minus 8. So I get 2 on top, and I got 24 minus 8, which is 16. And that's what I have. I have 2 over 16. You guys should know how to reduce your fractions. Okay? 2 over 16 is 1/8, right? 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 16 8 times. So the answer to that problem was 1/8. All right? So we covered a couple different things. We covered order of operations, and then we also covered evaluating expressions with variables. And that's it. So that's it, math fans. And you guys have a great day. Goodbye.